Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Simple Creations by Ziya, and today I am here to share a tutorial on how to make this beautiful flower. Okay, so right now I'm out of station. I'm not having any craft supplies, but as you know, I'm a crafter and I can't live for long without crafting. So I was just thinking what I can do, and I then decided to make something like flowers or any other stuff which I can make with very minimum materials which I have around me. So I'm going to show you how I did this flower. It's very easy and you can make it anywhere. You don't need anything special. It's just some page from the textbook, one of the textbooks of my son. So it's not even watercolor paper, it's not even flower making paper, but still the flower looks gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how I did this. And I'm so sorry for the lighting and all, because this is not my regular setup. I'm out of station, I'm not having my table, I'm not having any craft supplies, I'm just having like a pair of scissors and glue. So this is a paper which I removed from this sketchbook of my daughter. Okay, it's nothing fancy, it's an branded sketchbook, so the page is around 160 GSM. It's not a watercolor paper, so let's see how this reacts with water. So I'm gonna take this page, and I have this is the paper, and then you're gonna need a pair of scissors, then you're gonna need a bob pin. Yeah, you heard me, this is a bob pin. And then you're gonna need some watercolor cakes, brushes, and regular stuff. If you don't have watercolor, you can work with oil pastels. You can work with any coloring medium like watercolor pencils, maybe just color pencils. Okay, so you don't have to stress yourself, you just need to pull out the stuff which you have and you can work with that. So I'm going to use this watercolor cakes. It's very vibrant shades in here. And then I have some glitter pens over here, which I've used for doing the center just a little bit more fancy. You can see that glitter over there. Okay, so that's all you're gonna need. So let's quickly start with the stuff. First, what I have done is I will just cut a square. Maybe it's around like 2 inches. I don't even have a scale over here. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip this over like this. If you know me very well that I don't like to take and measure each and everything. So I'm just gonna eyeball it that it becomes like a square, and then I'm gonna snip off this extra piece from here. Let's quickly do that. Even this scissor is from ages. Okay, it's not even working. No worries. We are crafters. We know how to fix things and how to get along with minimum stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna fold it into square like this, and then we will just cut it like, I'm gonna make it look, we will just cut a curve maybe. Okay, so now I have just trimmed the edges and it somewhat looks like a circle. That's perfect. Okay, then what we're gonna do is next we will just fold it like this, and then we are going to mark 2 lines going towards the center. Okay, see, first I'll cut it here from these. Okay, and then we are gonna just mark 2 lines. If you want, you can draw it with pencil and then do it. I will just eyeball it and do it. Okay, so this is where the cuts will be. You will be kind of dividing this 1/4 of the circle into 3 pieces. Okay, so here goes 1. You don't need to be perfect, it's just gonna work fine. And then 2. Just remember that all the lines are coming towards the center. Okay, that's what you need to notice. Let's open it. So this is what you will be having something. Now what we will do, we'll just take our scissor. Okay, I'm so sorry about that. So let's quickly show you. Give me a sec. Okay, so I was showing you, I'm so sorry about that. I was not as I told you, this is not my regular setup, so I had to go and fix some things, and still I'm not getting the proper lighting for the video, but let's keep going. So let's open this. I have not done anything fancy, I just did several cuts, all the cuts going towards the center of the circle, and then I have done like I have cut the edges of each petal into curved shape. to make it look like more of a flower. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. This is what it will look like after that. And then what we're going to do next is we will just have to pull this out, because I don't want to pour all my watercolor on that. Then we will keep this here and make like yellow in the center of the flower. So that's what I'm gonna do. I will just put a little bit of water here in the center of the flower. Then we'll quickly go and grab some yellow color from here, from the palette. Let me show you. So that's the palette. So let's quickly go get some yellow and drop it in the center of the flower. You don't have to stress yourself for anything, just relax. And this is what we are going to do. We will just add more of the yellow, maybe a little bit more, because watercolors, they tend to fade as they dry. So what it's looking like right now, it's gonna be a little bit lighter after it dries. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's go to the next flower. You can make it a single layer flower, but I kind of like to give it three-dimensional look. So I'm going for 2 shades, 2 layers. Okay, so let's put more of the yellow. Take more of the yellow and drop it in the center of the flower. This is what we were doing. Don't stress yourself. It is just watercolor, so anyways it's gonna spread everywhere. Okay, and that is what we're gonna do. So let's bring this one closer. I have just dipped the brush in water. I'm just giving a wash of that color to the flower very lightly, and then we're gonna pick any other shade, maybe pink or red or any color which you want. Okay, so let's put that on the edges of the flower. You don't have to be like having experience of watercolor and all that kind of stuff. Even though if you don't have any previous experience, this is just like playing with colors. Okay, I'm so sorry if I'm out of the frame. Let's quickly fix this here. Okay, let me bring it here. So it's just like we are playing with color, nothing fancy. We will keep dropping the color here and there. So this is what it's gonna look. Then we'll take more of water, little bit of the color. You can simply go and give another kind of, you will go up and down like this strokes. It helps the color to blend, because we are not working with watercolor paper, so sometimes you have to push the colors to blend very well. I think I'm gonna take a very little bit of orange and then go in between these two. This is how it's gonna look. Okay, I think it's looking fine now. When it dries, it's gonna be much lighter than what it's looking like right now. Let's keep this aside and then let's work on this one. I'm not at all happy with the lights, but still let's keep going. I'm so sorry for that. We will take more of the color and drop it towards the edges. We want the flower to be shaded like darker on the outer sides and going to the yellow shades on the inside. Okay, that's what we are doing basically. I'm so sorry about the backgrounds. This is just like crafting on the go, so it has to be a crafting on the go. So I have just quickly colored the flowers, and then we will set them aside for drying, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes. That's enough. Okay, we don't want them to be completely dried. We just want them to be damp enough to have a nice shape. So as it's just one, I just spoiled that with the screen. It's just sketchbook paper, so it dries very quickly. So let's wait by the time it dries. By the time it's drying, I just found this glitter pen, so let's go and do the outline of the petals. It's nothing fancy, it's just gonna make the flower look more beautiful. So we'll quickly take and do the outline. You can take any color. Here I'm using golden. So you can use whatever you have. If you don't have one of these, you can simply take the sketch pen and do that. Okay, So I'm just going on the edges of the petals. That's it. Just take a look how beautiful it's looking right now. So let's move that one aside. Let's go and work on this one. Maybe it's still wet. Let me quickly show you what is the next step. Okay, for the next step you are going to need your bob pin, which I showed you earlier. This is the tool we are going to use to shape the petal and make it like all going towards the center, and it gives a nice grungy effect to the flower. Okay, if you are into scrapbooking or journaling, you can use this technique for making beautiful crunched flowers. Okay, so just take a look at this, how beautiful it's looking. What's the next step is just take the bob pin, and you are going to use this side of the bob pin, which is round. We're not going to use this side. Okay, we're going to use the side which is round. We will just keep the bob pin in the center of the petal and then bring it towards the center of the flower. Simple. Okay, so you will do this to all the petals, and this is gonna give it nice crunched effect. Okay, so this is a beautiful technique for having flowers on the making flowers on the go. You can use these flowers in your journaling or in your scrapbooks, or maybe just for an embellishment on your cards. Okay, someone asked me that can you show more videos on like which you can make without using much of the supplies. So this is kind of one of those things which I would like to suggest. Okay, and many people are asking which papers are used for flower making. It is this flower which I have made. It's just a normal textbook. As you can see all the text over here in prints. So this is very normal textbook paper. Okay, you don't need much of it, but you just need something which can take the water and it doesn't tear. If you will ask me, I would not suggest you to work with printing paper, because printing paper is very delicate. As soon as you touch it with the watercolors, it's gonna start ripping apart. Okay, so we don't want our flowers to be tearing when we stick them. So let's quickly go and do the same thing on this one. Okay, if you can't see it, I think it's okay, you can. Okay, sometimes we need to adjust and adapt. So here I'm just adjusting with the lighting, because this is not my table, not my setup. And the worst part is that I'm not having all my craft supplies here. So let's work with what we have. So that is the next flower. Let's quickly, it's not completely dried. Okay, it's damp. That is why after it takes a shape, and when it finally dries, it has this sturdiness to it. Okay, can you see how crunchy this flower is? You can hear it, right? So that happens only when you will work and shape the flowers when they are damp, not completely dried. So let's take the bob pin again and press all the petals going towards the center. Okay, so this is what we will do. See, I'm not using any fancy tools. I'm not using the foam pad. I'm just using a bob pin and the palm of my hands. Okay, so we will just do this to all the petals, and then we will bring any pen which is round on the back. Can you see this one? It's a little bit round on the back. So what we will do, we will take the flower and we'll just press it right in the center. Okay, this is what you will do. So it kind of brings all the petals towards the center, and it gives nice cup shape to the flower. So let's quickly do that same thing to here. Okay, so this is what we have done. Now quickly we will grab our glue, and we will add a little bit in the center, and we will quickly place this one. Just see that one of the petals of this flower comes in between the two petals on the bottom flower. Okay, I hope it makes sense. If you want, you can make it of two different sizes, maybe the inner flower a little bit smaller, but I kind of like it this. It gives it much fuller effect. Okay, so that's how it will look. And then what I did is, luckily I found a scrap of this golden foil paper. Okay, so what I did is I have just cut a circle out of it, and then I'm going to stick it right in the center. Okay, for this one what I did is I just cut out a circle out of the textbook, and then I painted it in yellow and did some sparkle dots with silver color. So on this one we will quickly grab our silver color, and we will start putting some dots, random dots coming out from the center towards the petals. Not too many, a few will do. You just need to add interest to the flower. This is what you will do. Okay, so let's quickly go and add some sparkle dots. If you don't have a sparkle pen, then you can use, if you have glitter, you can use glitter. If you have what do we call it, sketch pen, you can use your sketch pens. Okay, use anything which you have handy. Then what I'm going to use is, I'm not having foam or anything to make it dimensional, so I'm going to quickly take this strip of paper and fold it like this. Okay, and I will add a little bit of glue here, and I will stick it. This is what I'm going to use for dimension in the center of my flower. Let's add some glue, then we will put this right in the center of the flower. I hope you can see that very clearly. So I'm not having foam, so this is what I'm working with. Okay, so always try to think of creative ways of using what you have handy. You don't really need all the stuff. Okay, it's just fun to play with it, but if you don't have it, don't stop yourself from trying new things. So let's quickly go and stick the center, and that's it. Okay, see how beautiful that flower is. So here's both the flowers. You can make many of them. If you really like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I would like to thank to all the beautiful people who are supporting my channel to grow. I hope you are one of them. And if you are not, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.